Better cheer. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my channel. Why are humans like this? I like to ask questions to learn more about myself and other people, and I also like to share stories about trauma survivors. I am a survivor, and I'm thankful for wisdom that I've learned throughout the years. Today is Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. It is 5:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, like I said yesterday in my live stream, if you were here, I really appreciate it. If you're not, I understand. But yeah, if you don't already know, November is National Gratitude Month. So let's try to be grateful every day for what we have. And don't look too far in the future because it'll kind of make you, I don't know, too far in the future gives you anxiety. It's good to look forward to the future, but I feel like sometimes we are too anxious about the future instead of just living day to day and being in the moment. That's my experience anyway. But I hope all is well with everyone. No one's in this chat so far. I'm probably gonna take this time to grab a water. Why is this? This looks kind of dark. Okay, that's what it is. All right, my lighting wasn't good. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so I'm gonna take the time to grab a water. To be honest, I might pop some popcorn too, you all. But today's live topic is, what advice would you give your younger self? If you could give your younger self advice, what would you tell your younger self? That's today's topic. Fireman McDonald says, okay, Fireman McDonald. TMI, right? But we all do it. How are you, Fireman McDonald? Anyway, so I'll start off with one advice. Like, there's so many things I would tell my younger self. Let me go grab a water, and then I'll be right back. Nuri Ibrahim says, hello, my friend. Hello, Nuri. Welcome to the live stream. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, everyone. Fireman McDonald says, I'm good, just trying to make you laugh. Oh, I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate the effort. Akash Dobby says, hello, baby. Hello, Akash. I don't like to be called baby, unless I'm no one's baby. So I don't really like to be called that, honestly. I'm gonna be real with you. But thank you for the kind words. Hello to you. I hope you're well. So yeah, the topic is, so everyone in the chat, what advice would you give your younger self? Let me start a poll as well. And I'm going to start it for you guys. Would you give your younger self advice? Any advice? Would you? Okay. All right. Akashi says, how are you, my dear? I'm well. Thank you for asking. Nuri says, I want to see you. I'm a human woman. I have body parts that all women have. So just use your imagination. Popcorn says, what's your home? What do you mean, what's my home? I live in the USA and I'm in the state of Ohio. What's your home, Popcorn? Let me grab a bottle of water. You guys, hold on. Give me Give me a few seconds. Let me grab a water. Okay, so like I said, today's topic is what advice would you give your younger self? So leave a comment in the chat. I'm gonna move this slightly. I'll move it back soon. I'm about to grab some water. Leave a comment in the chat if what advice would you give your younger self? Okay, and I also have a poll going. Would you give yourself advice if you could? Okay, I am back. I had to grab some water and a snack. I had a busy day, so I didn't have a chance to do everything yet, but I didn't want to wait till too late before I went live. Popcorn says, I am from Argentina. Sorry for my English. No problem. Akash says, please show me your face, baby. Like I said, Akash, I don't like to be called baby. Please don't call me that. I'm a grown woman. Tornado says, hello again, ma'am. Hi, Tornado. How are you? Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. So I'm snacking, you all. Let me show you the snack of the day right now. I'm snacking on Cedar's baked garlic pita chips. It's really good. Highly recommend it. And then I have some hummus. So if you like hummus and pita chips, I recommend those too. Okay. Snack of the day. Snack of the day. Or snack of the moment. Are you guys snacking on anything right now? So yeah, I got that and some water. All right, so far people have said, let me see the poll. All of you said you would give advice to your younger self if you could. And I think that's awesome, you know. So I always say this when it comes to giving younger people advice, but I definitely would give my younger self the advice to go to therapy and stay in there. Don't be discouraged. Don't feel like it won't work, or you got to ignore the fact that it feels new to you and you have never seen anyone go through therapy. You have to ignore the fact that you can't see the end result, what will come from it. Stay in therapy. Speak to a counselor or a licensed therapist about everything. Tell them everything. Get it out. So that's my number one advice to my younger self, is to go to therapy. So I had opportunities to go to therapy. The youngest age I was able to go, I think I was 16. And by then, a lot had already happened in my life. You know, the best time that I should have gotten therapy was before I became a teenager. So by the time I was a teen, I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know anything about therapy. It was brand new to me, and I wasn't encouraged to go. So I did stop, and I wish at that age I was encouraged to go and continue to go. I honestly wish it was a requirement for me to go. There should have been something to keep me there, because I would have been a better person, I believe, if I would have stayed in if I got some therapy. You know, mental health is very important. And sometimes you don't realize that you have issues until like a moment happens that make you realize, hey, like, something's not right here with me. Like, I need some assistance with something. So it's better to get the help early as possible, you know? Do you guys have any advice you'll give your younger self? I can't say your name, but Niz says hi. Hi. I really can't say your name, to be honest. How do you pronounce that? But yeah, I would definitely tell my younger self to go to therapy and tell my younger self that this is going to be the best thing for you. You need this. This will help you. Like, you may not see the point of it now, but later on in your older years, you will thank yourself for going younger. The younger, the better. You know? So that's my number one advice to myself. My younger self. Like, honestly, that's probably the best advice. Go there, work out all your issues. Talk about from the time you were born to now. That's what I would tell myself. Let me see it. It's a helicopter. Can you see the helicopter? Hold on. There it is. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. But if only counseling and therapy was normalized back in the day, like back in the 90s, back in the 80s, so many people would be better off, but it wasn't. So like I said, the first experience I had was when I was 16, and by then it was like I was so far gone that I didn't know how to be comfortable and open up. I think I only had like one session. I don't remember going past one session, which is really sad because I needed that. And then the second time I spoke to a counselor was when I was in college, and I think I maybe went to one or two sessions, and that was it. Nothing was really, you know. I honestly wish I could go back in time and like I'm gonna try to see if I could find my records and like go back in time and see what notes were put down, what were the therapist notes and recommendations. Like I just like I said, I wish, you know, you shoulda, coulda, woulda. There's things we wish you could go back and do, but I honestly definitely would have tell my younger self to stick with getting, you know, addressing your mental health issues. It's so important. It's highly important. So I'm glad that we are now in a time where it's more normalized. It was so almost unheard of back then, you know, back in the 90s and early 2000s. So good. So anybody else want to tell me What advice would you give your younger self? Can you imagine, like, if we were able to give our younger self advice, where we would be in life? But that's the thing about life. You know, like I said before, November is National Gratitude Month. So I am grateful for the wisdom that I have now. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for growth. I am grateful. But for a long time, I wasn't grateful. It took me time to really appreciate gratitude. It took me time to understand what gratitude was. When you like a helicopter. I just lost my train of thought. I think I didn't really understand gratitude and appreciation because I didn't feel appreciated. So it's like I didn't know how to, you know what I'm saying, how to do that. Like, what's that? You know, what's self-love? So a lot of stuff I had to learn on my own. Like I always say, like, I raised myself. So I had to learn what gratitude was from trial and error and just going through a lot. But I'm really just grateful for being not the perfect parent because nothing's perfect, but I'm grateful for being the parent that I needed and wanted as a child. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to have something to offer to my children. You know, I'm grateful for emotional growth and maturity. I'm grateful for knowing when to ask for help. I'm gonna put the do not disturb on. It's like so many interruptions. Okay, that's better. But honestly, that's the only probably advice I will give my younger self because once you get help, once you address your mental health issues and your childhood issues and your traumas, it sets the tone for everything in your life. When you have trauma that's unaddressed, it really just creates a whole like domino effect because once your mental health is unstable, everything else in your life is going to be unstable. You're going to make poor choices. You're going to surround yourself with people who don't really care about you. You know what I'm trying to say? So mental health is the roots of all our issues. Like if you're not together mentally, like honestly, one of my biggest fears is losing my mind. Like feeling like I can't control my thoughts and like I can't calm down. I would never want to feel that. Feeling out of control is horrible. But I'm talking about there's some times where you feel like, oh my gosh, am I going crazy? But I'm talking about like you stay in that state of like insanity and like you know, like you can't get out, you won't come down from it. Like a lot of times we, you know, we have little panics and anxiety issues and we eventually come down from it. But there's some people who, you know, something really traumatic happened to them and they have not been able to be the same again. You know, once trauma does affect your life, it does change you. But there's some people who had to be hospitalized. You know, there are people who are in mental health hospitals because they can't function anymore. And I am thankful, and my heart goes out to anyone who has lived in a mental hospital or who live in a mental hospital. That's not easy, but I'm thankful that I never made it there. You know, because it's so much. So many things that has happened in your life can cause you to completely just go that route and just completely give up. But I'm thankful for perseverance, like deciding not to give up even when I didn't know what was gonna happen. Jorka says hi, welcome back to my live stream. How are you? I mean Jorka, not Jorka. Jorka. Hi Jorka. Jorka, so what advice would you give your younger self? That's the topic today. What advice would you give your younger self if you could? All right, so 9 people have answered so far. So my question is, would you give your younger self any advice? 89% of you said yes. 11% said no. Jorka, no, I'm not speaking Spanish. You don't understand me? No habla español. I don't speak Spanish at all. Wyoming 307 says Trump 2024 MAGA. Good for you, Wyoming. Whoever you want to vote for, do your thing. It's your right to vote. You gotta fight for your right to party. Okay? Do your thing. Do your thing. I'm not gonna stop you from voting who you want to vote for. I can't. Your mind is made up. Yo, one thing I'll say, I'm not trying to make this a political chat, but Trump has probably some of the most die-hard fans of all time. Like, Trump fans and supporters go hard in the paint for him. When I'm driving, I see so many Trump signs, and somebody literally like has like a decal on their car that says Trump. Trump fans go hard. The ones I've encountered. They love that man. Like, they idolize Trump. I don't know what it is about him that people love him so much, but hey, they want to support him. That's on them, you know? You support who you support. Jorka says, I'm from Mexico, but I can't writing in. Oh, so Jorka, you should have been in my live yesterday. I was talking about how the Day of the Dead. Do you celebrate that, Jorka? I was talking about yesterday in my live that I think that's such a cool holiday. I really respect it, how you guys celebrate the dead, how you know, show respects to those who have passed on. I love that. And to me, it's better than Halloween, like I was saying yesterday. Because Halloween can get so dark, and you know what I'm saying? And Halloween is really not really about anything but dressing up and trick-or-treating. But the Day of the Dead actually has to do with something. It's like a purpose. There's a meaning behind it. And that's what I love about it. So respect to you, Jorka, and your people, and all Mexicans. And yeah, today is the second day of the Day of the Dead. I don't know how to say it in Spanish. My Spanish is not that good at all. Obviously, I'm not, I'm not a Latina. I'm not an Afro Latina or anything like that. So my information and stuff is limited. Did you guys know that also November is National Adoption Month? I did not know that. Hold on. According to Google AI Overview, November is National Adoption Month. Let me look that up because I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? That's news to me. That's news to me. Let me Google it again and confirm. Let me see. Yeah, they said President Clinton, I can't even talk. President Clinton named November as National Adoption Month in 1995, and we have been celebrating it ever since. I did not know that. So shout out to anyone or everyone who have been adopted or who choose to adopt. It's a big job. It's a beautiful thing. And shout out to you if you were treated properly and your parents treated you properly and you treat someone you adopted properly. There's a lot of people there's a lot of children who should be adopted, who wish they were adopted. There are a lot of children who are neglected and abused, and they're just hoping that somebody come and rescue them, Jorka says, oh yeah, this state is so beautiful. Jorka says, Dia de los Muertos. See, I have a hard time saying it, but thank you so much for saying that. So what do you do when you're celebrating it? Like, did you go to any festivities? Did you decorate? Like, what exactly do you do with Jorka? I would love to honestly learn about that. I think that's really cool. Like, hopefully I find a Mexican friend soon and we could be cool and they can invite me to that. I honestly would like to experience that. Let me go grab a blanket. I'll be right back. Ooh. Okay, so I guess, Jorka, you didn't catch that yet. But yeah, I've been on a journey of self-love, and the more I love my inner child, the more happiness that I have. The more I love my inner child, the better I am as a parent, the better I treat my children. I think a lot of us have not forgiven ourselves, and forgiveness has been hard for me. I don't forgive easily. I don't even know if I really truly forgive, but I guess I forgive sometimes, and I don't actually say the words like I forgive you, but like by my action, I'm showing that I forgive you by interacting with you still. But you have to forgive yourself first. The number one person that you should forgive when it comes to forgiveness is yourself. Forgive yourself for mistakes you have made in your life. Forgive yourself for doing things due to survival. We have to forgive ourselves so we can be gentle with ourselves and treat ourselves right. When you don't forgive yourself, you really are hard on yourself all the time, and you don't treat yourself the best when you didn't forgive yourself. So People love to talk about, oh, you should forgive. Forgiveness is good, and forgiveness is not for them. It's for you. And that is true, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about forgiving yourself. People love to preach about forgiving other people, turning the other cheek, but let's focus on ourselves first. Like self-love, self-forgiveness sets the tone for everything in your life. Once you got yourself together, it's easy to love others. It's easy to forgive. It's easy to, you know what I'm saying, see things clearly. So that needs to be stressed. I guess Jorka left alive. But everyone who's joining, please let me know, what advice would you give your younger self? My advice would be to go to therapy, get help, work out all the issues you've had since birth until now. Talk about everything, even if it seems insignificant. Tell your therapist, tell your counselor what you have been going through, what you have been surviving. You know, as a survivor of childhood trauma, that's why I created this channel. I wanted to share videos to give myself inspiration, other people inspiration, that even though you've been through a lot, you're still here and you're still going and you still matter. You still have a purpose in life. And life can still be beautiful even if it was dark for a long time. So that was my main reason to start the channel, and to, yeah, learn about myself, learn about others, inspire others, share with others, communicate with others. I'm big on community. Right now. I don't know what that sound is. I don't know if that is I can't tell what that sound is. Is it like, it sounds like a leaf blower. I think that's what it is. You know, it is fall, or some people call it autumn. So it's not even a lot yet, but there is plenty of leaves on the ground. But I've seen worse. So the leaves are dropping. So a lot of people are getting rid of it, raking and doing the leaf blower and stuff like that. I'm glad I don't have to do that right now. I don't like manual labor, to be honest about it. Get somebody else to do it. But I am grateful that I do not have to do that, okay? Anybody in the live stream want to contribute to the topic of today? What advice would you give your younger self? I'm curious to know. What would you say to your younger self if you could? But I love me so much, you know? I love the woman that I have grown to be. Like, when it comes to emotional maturity and mental health, I'm proud of that. There are definitely areas in life that I would like to be better at, that I still struggle with, but overall, I am happy with who I am. Self-love, like I said, is so important. We have to work on healing the broken parts of ourselves. We have to, like I was saying yesterday in my live yesterday, like, you can't just love yourself when things are going good. You can't just love yourself when you're happy. You got to love yourself when you're sad, depressed, frustrated, not looking your best. You have to love all of you so you can appreciate all of you. How do you expect other people to love all of you if you don't even love and appreciate all of you? You don't want to wait for other people to give you compliments and to make you feel away, because sometimes, you know, you can, I don't know how I want to say that. It's just really important to love yourself first. Because I feel like sometimes people can manipulate you with the compliments and boosting you up, because sometimes they can tell that you have low self-esteem or you don't love yourself. So they kind of like, what is it? Love bomb you. And it's really not real. You know, there are people who are like predators out there. They prey on you. They prey on your weaknesses. They prey on your low self-esteem. You know, they prey on the fact that you need attention. So when you love yourself, you don't crave attention. You crave respect and safety. You pray, I mean, not you pray, you appreciate honesty. Like when you love yourself, you definitely are not going to be down for bad treatment. That's why self-love is so important, because it just sets the tone for your entire life. When you love yourself, you do make better choices, because you're like, no, I'm not going to do that because that would hurt me, and that wouldn't be good for my mental health and stuff like that. But when you don't love yourself, you're like, whatever. You accept almost anything, bottom of the barrel treatment from people, and people can tell. People can tell when you have low self-esteem. People can tell when you don't love yourself. Samir says, hello, hello, Samir. Samir says, are you single? Yes, Samir, I am. So, Samir, are you going to answer the questions of today? What advice would you give your younger self? I would like to know. Like I said, as November being National Gratitude Month, we have to be grateful for growth, grateful for change, grateful for wisdom. You know, some people grow and they don't get wiser. They're still making the same mistakes over and over and over again. You know, we're still choosing to be in the same situation. But sometimes people's mental health is not where it should be. And that's why, from the outside looking in, it might look like, oh, they don't care about their self. But some people really are just battling depression, anxiety. So it's hard. So you need to be gentle with people and give people grace and take it easy. If that person's behavior is having a negative effect on you, then you should definitely distance yourself from them if you can. Atheist says, why can't you put selfie and talk, ma'am? No, that's my hi, Atheist. Welcome. I do not show my face. I'm a faceless channel. You must be new here. I just go live and I show my scenery, show the view, or whatever's in front of me. So you're just seeing things from my point of view while you listen to my voice. I know there's a lot of channels out there that show face, but there are also faceless channels. So I just hope you can appreciate that. Samir says, be happy in your life, do fun. You're right, Samir. That's a good advice to your younger self. That's very good advice, Samir. I like that name, Samir. That's awesome advice. Anybody else have any advice that you will give your younger self? Atheist says, okay, your wish. So what are you guys up to right now? You don't want to answer my question, so what is everybody up to? Thank you, Samir, for answering the question. Atheist, what advice would you give your younger self, if you can? Hope you're an introvert. So you would tell your younger self to hope that they're introvert? Christopher, thank you, Christopher, for joining live. Christopher says, read more books. That's awesome advice, Christopher. Honestly, that's awesome advice. Reading is so vital and so important. And I'm still trying to like get back into reading. Like I was saying in my live yesterday, like I used to really love reading in my younger years, but life got in the way, and I still read here and there, but it's not like how I was before. Like I would just love to be in a library all the time and love to read and be in my room, be in my bed reading. That was like my escape from my reality. And now that I feel like I'm in a safe place where I don't have to be around people that I don't want to be around, I feel like I'm less into escape mode. I don't feel like I'm constantly in survival mode right now like I was before. Christopher says exercise more. That's excellent advice. Definitely read more books, exercise more. Yes. And it's really important when you get older. Like right now, I have been definitely slacking on fitness, but I was active yesterday, intentionally. I did a Grow with Joe video, and I should have done it yesterday. I felt so good yesterday. Like after exercise yesterday, it put me in such a good mood. And it's such a shame that I don't carve out enough time to do exercise, and I'm gonna try to work on it. It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to grow and to establish new habits and routines. If there's a will, there's a way. If you really want to do something, you'll do it. If you don't, you won't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, honestly, when it comes to exercise, you just got to do it when you don't feel like it. That's the thing. A lot of times I don't feel like it, so I just don't do it. You have to be like, you look, it's not about what you feel like. It's about what you need. Because in 20 years from now, I want to be able to thank myself now, like, hey girl, I'm so glad that you were exercising. I'm so glad you started to get into the routine, because look, now you're older and you're still limber, you're still active, you're good. So what we do now will benefit our older self. So that's why we need to just really do what needs to be done and not what we want to do. Exercise is a need. It's a health priority. So like I said, I exercised yesterday. I didn't do today. I was active today, but I wasn't like intentional active. I did some things, but it's not like where I wanted to. So tomorrow I'm going to pick back up to start the week off right. Atheist says, I'm telling you that you're an introvert. I am an introvert. Yes, Atheist. Thank you. I am. Are you? Is that okay? And actually, I'm not. What's that thing? Introvert. There's a middle version. There's introvert and there's extrovert. I'm in the middle. Let me find it. Introvert versus, I think it's like ambivert or something. Okay, so the main difference between an introvert and an ambivert is that introvert prefers to be alone to recharge, while an ambivert can be energized both social and solitary situations. So let's find a chart that shows the difference between introvert, ambivert, and okay, so extrovert enjoys spending time with others, is outgoing, prefers to work on teams, likes to talk things out with others. Ambivert, let me show you guys what I'm looking at. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Ambivert, okay? So ambivert enjoys others but needs alone time, can be outgoing in the right context, can be on teams after working independently, can process out loud or internally. Introvert, on the other hand, enjoys spending time alone, is reserved, prefers to work independently, likes to process internally. So I'm definitely an ambivert. Okay, atheist, I'm not an introvert. It might seem like it, but yeah, I'm in the middle. I'm not to the extreme of each end or whatever. Samir says spending time with parents, this precious things. Yeah. If you have healthy, loving parents, yes, it's very beautiful to spend time with your parents. Safe parents are very nice to spend time with. That's very important. So anyone who grew up with a loving, safe, healthy parent, and an attentive, active parent, shout out to you. That's a beautiful thing. It's nice to know that there are people, who experience great parenting. Like sometimes I'll see in comments on social media and people like, I'm so thankful for my parents, blah, 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 they raised me. And I'm happy for that, because everyone shouldn't grow up. The world, it would be so unfair for the world if most people, or if all people, were raised by horrible parents. It's good that there are people who can say, I love my parents, they treated me well, they were there for me, all that good stuff. Atheist says, I advise them to lead their life just like Chris McCandles. Who's Chris McCandles? Now I'm about to look that up. Who is Chris McCandles? Chris, hold on, let me look that up. Chris McCandless, American adventurer. Born February 12, 1968 in El Segundo, California, died August 18th, 1992. Stampede Trail, Arkansas. So let me see what it says about him. It says Christopher Johnson McCandless, also known as Alexander Supertramp, was an American adventurer who lived a nomadic lifestyle. He is the subject of John Krakauer's nonfiction book Into the Wild, which was later adapted into a film. McCandless's story is about a young man who rejected society and his parents' lifestyle. He left his belongings behind to live off the land in Alaska, where he died in 1992. Oh, Alaska. Why did I think I saw? Okay, that was Alaska. He died in Alaska. Okay. I want to check out that movie. Into the Wild. Let me try to find it. But yeah, I've never heard of him. I like to learn about people and new things and stuff. So thank you. Let me look up that movie, see if it's available on any streaming platforms. I'm already watching another movie that somebody else recommended in the live chat. I forgot the name of the movie, but I'm looking at it. I'm watching it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I can't think of the movie, but it's on, I think it's on Tubi. There's a movie I'm watching on Tubi right now that was recommended in a live from yesterday. So, Into the Wild. I can't watch it because I don't have the YouTube paid app. I don't have Google Play Movies and TV, Amazon Prime. Yeah, I don't have any of that. But it says a top student and athlete leaves his middle-class life to venture into Alaska only to meet people who will eventually shape his values in life. Okay. I admire people who are able to walk alone and walk to the beat of their own drum and like don't do what everybody else is doing. So that movie is from 2007. If I get a chance, I'll watch it one day. Yeah, Atheist says Into the Wild movie. Atheist says, have you seen Into the Wild movie? No, I haven't. Atheist says Alaska is part of USA. Yes, it is. It is. Atheist is one of the... Atheist says it's one of the Noble movie. It's one of the Noble movie, okay? Atheist says, surely you love it. Yeah, I want to check it out one day. But like I said, right now, I don't have any apps that see it. So I have it. I might look into my library. You know how the library has movies available sometimes. I might check with my library and see. But I honestly only have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Tubi. You know, Tubi's free. And then I have Max. I think I already said Max if I didn't. So yeah, that's the only apps I have. Atheist says don't read it, just watch it and experience it. Okay, LOL. Okay, thanks for that. So far my question is, would you give your younger self any advice? And 92% of you said yes, and 8% of you said no. Okay. That's good to know. Most of you would, take the opportunity, if you could, to give your younger self advice. Atheist says, your voice is lovely, so adorable. I really appreciate it, Atheist. Thank you. So, Atheist, now that your name is really clear, I consider myself technically maybe an agnostic atheist. I was saying atheist before, but I think I'm more probably agnostic atheist. Like, I still don't know, but it's like, I don't think, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that there's nothing at all, but I'm saying I don't think there's anything. So I'm not ruling everything out. But the modern day religions, I don't really believe in that stuff. Atheist says one more advice: be authentic, love, and respect everyone. Yes, that's good advice. You know, it's very good. It's very important to be authentic because so many people are trying to be everybody else, and other people are trying to be who they think people want them to be. Like being yourself and being authentic is so important. Even though that's your advice, atheist, I will say that everyone doesn't deserve respect because everyone doesn't treat you with respect. So I feel like, what's that saying? Like, respect is not given, it's earned. So if someone is disrespectful, hold on one second. Atheist says just missing me because of society. Okay. How long have you been an atheist? What made you become an atheist? Curious to know. So for me, I had a traumatic experience when I was younger, my mid-teens, and I was really into church. You know, that's all I knew, and I thought that was going to save me from myself, I guess, whatever. And then so I, was into it, and then when I finally went to college, I took a what class did I take? Is it physiology? Oh my gosh, what class did I take? Um, I can't remember the name of the class. Um, I can't remember the class. Philosophy. Oh my gosh, my brain is just like, woo. So I took a philosophy class in college, and I learned about why religion was started. It was about controlling people, get them to do what you want them to do. It wasn't really about anything. And I lost all respect for it from then, and it just made sense. Everything else made sense. Atheist says respect equals respect. Atheist says disrespect equals disrespect. Okay. So they give you respect, you give them respect. Just okay, got it. I think that's what you're saying. I really want to go like back to school. I want to further my education. Like I do have a bachelor's degree, but yeah, I want to go back and refresh my memory and just learn more and new things. Atheist says I am atheist because of superstition. Superstitions followed by people always force me to read the Bible. Yes, me too. And honestly, atheists, they didn't necessarily force me to read the Bible. It was more so forcing me to go to church. I don't know any scriptures by heart. I've been in church since a baby until like my late teens, right? I know one scripture, and it's the shortest scripture in the Bible. Jesus wept, literally. And like, what's that one thing? Though I may walk in the valley of the shadow of death, whatever I feel and fear no evil. Like, I don't know anything because I didn't care about the Bible. It just seemed so phony to me. It was hard for me to grasp it because I was in survival mode, and I couldn't get into the Bible. It just seemed so very fairy tale-ish. It seemed very, I don't know. Couldn't get into it. I couldn't catch on, so I never got into the Bible. I did not. It was just so much contradiction to me and just like weird stuff, and people who are reading the Bible and they're saying they're religious, but they're also abusing me. Like it was a lot of hypocritical things. So it was hard for me to respect the Bible and get into the Bible. I was forced to go to church, but it was like, you can't force me to read because anyway, whatever religion people choose to do, that's your life. But I don't like when it's forced on other people. And a lot of things were forced on me, and I didn't like that. When things are forced on me, like, I rebel. I don't want to be involved with it. And I think it's very important to remember that as adults and as parents and as teachers and caretakers and stuff, like, you cannot force children to do things. You have to encourage them to make them want to do it. Forcing makes them rebel and resent you and all this other stuff. It can really have a negative effect, the opposite effect when you force children to do things. So I try my best to encourage for the right thing, but forcing, is not healthy. It's not right. It's not fair. Like, as adults, we don't want to be forced to do anything, right? But unfortunately, there's things we're forced to do, like go to work. We have to pay bills. Like, we're stuck in this world. So it's like, what can you do unless you win the lottery and then you have to work again? But you still have to pay bills, even with the lottery wins. You still have to pay taxes. Like, there's no way out of this. What's that saying? There's only two guaranteed things in life: death and taxes. So I'm kind of going off topic, but I can relate to you, atheists. Definitely can. You should join my lives more often. Do you make YouTube videos, atheists? Are you a content creator? If you're in the live stream, please leave a comment. Like I said, today's topic is, what advice would you give your younger self? Please engage, leave a comment if you can, but just watching is fine too. I appreciate it. Atheist says, Bible says Jesus forgives bad people. Yep. Atheist says, I am a student. Okay, cool. And what I didn't like about the Bible is, like, forgive people who have, like, truly hurt you. And I know that they said forgiveness is good to do because you won't let them get to you. And, forgiveness is supposed to be more for us and not for other people. But I just don't like how it's like, oh, someone has done this to you. Forgive, forgive, forgive. There's a lot of work that needs to be done before you forgive somebody. That needs to be stressed. There's a lot of self-work and understanding before you can just automatically forgive somebody. People love to do bad things to you, like, forgive me, forgive me. Do you forgive me? No, I need time to process everything. Have you changed? Are you going to do anything different? What's more important to me is change behavior. People want to stress you forgiving them, but they're not stressing them changing and doing better and making things right. That's the problem. Forgiveness is like a blank, like just a cop out, in my opinion, a lot of times. Atheist says, read above the comment of Bible says. Okay, atheist says, I am an atheist because of superstitions followed by people always force me to read Bible. I did read that one, so I don't know if I didn't say it out loud enough, but I did read that. I've been reading all your comments. Thank you for being like the only person in my live stream right now. I do appreciate it. So basically, when I asked you about YouTube, you don't make videos? You're just a student? You seem like you have a lot of information to give. Maybe you should start a channel if you don't have one already. I'm hearing like all type of animals running out here. Bunnies, birds. I'm going to be going in soon, everyone. I will be going in about 2 more minutes. Thank you so much, Atheist, for joining my live stream. You are the bomb for staying engaged for this long. Atheist says, read from if there is a God. What are you saying? Read from it. Clarify that. Read from if there is a God. Is that a book? I don't clarify that what you're saying, because I'm confused. It's getting dark and I'll be going in soon. I try not to stay more than an hour, but sometimes I do go over a little bit hour, a little bit less. But an hour is always my goal when I go live. And so my hour mark is coming up in about a minute. Atheist says, no, above the comment of Bible says. Okay. Bible says forgive bad people. And the other comment was, did you delete something? Because I already read that. It says, I am atheist because of superstitions followed by people always force me to read the Bible. What is it that you want me to understand? Am I misunderstanding something? Atheist, please let me know what you think I'm misunderstanding, because I've read your comments. I'm not, maybe we're misunderstanding each other. Atheist says, if there's a God, why World War I and World War II? Yeah, like, that's my biggest thing with people when they talk about, like, God and stuff like that. Why are people suffering? Why are innocent children being sexually abused and killed? There's no justification for it. And it's like, I can never get with that. Innocent children who had nothing to do with nothing are abused every day. Right now, this minute, someone is being abused. Someone is being hurt. And it doesn't make any sense. So like, who is watching all that happen? Who's okay with that? I don't get it. Atheist, are you frustrated? You put ... But yeah, you're right. Atheist says fighting amongst Christians, fighting against Islam and Christianity. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand why life couldn't be so simple. Why did humans have to complicate it with the fighting and the war and mine, me, power, greed, kill, conquer? I just don't get it. Animals are more civil than we are. Yes, I know animals fight and stuff, but it's like, I don't know. We're supposed to be so intelligent. Humans are supposed to be so intelligent, but we don't use our intelligence enough. It's so sad. Atheist says Jesus didn't rescue himself from Romans. Okay. See, atheist, you know the Bible more than me. So honestly, I don't even. All I know is that Jesus was born, and then he was killed, and he was born again. And then he, rose from the dead. That's it. Sherlock Holmes, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been? So did you come up with an answer yet? Why are humans like this? I'm constantly asking that. And honestly, the title came because I was like frustrated with certain things. I'm like, why are humans like this? Why y'all be doing this? I'm always asking the question, like, why are you doing this? Why are you such a jerk? Why are you hurting people? Why are you think like that? So it's more so talking to the people who make living hard. I'm talking to the questions for people who make life so frustrating, or the people who clearly have issues and need some healing. Why do people do the things that they do? You know what I'm saying? It's basically that. And like, just trying to get to the source of it, not to excuse anybody's behavior, but more so to try to understand it. I'm big on understanding why. I've always been why. Since I could remember, I've always asked why. Why are you like that? Why do you do that? Why? And I noticed that the people who are afraid of accountability don't want to answer those questions. It's like, it's me. That's who I am. That's me. Mind your business. That's who I am. No one, it's just lack of accountability. So I think lack of accountability makes me want to ask that question. So I'd like to learn about other people to understand better. Like I said, not to excuse behavior, to understand myself and other people. Atheist says, where are you from, ma'am? I am in Ohio right now. That's where I live now. Sherlock Holmes says, I've been blessed. Queen, how you been? I'm doing fine. Thank you. I've been well. Like I was just talking about how November is National Gratitude Month, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful for growth. I'm grateful for my children. We got to practice gratitude more, because sometimes we are looking at other people's lives and comparing and not being thankful for what we have. Like, oh, I wish I had a big house. I wish I had a big car. I wish I had a husband. Wish I had a wife. Wish I had $1 million. Be thankful for what you have. So it's just being grateful. I'm focused on living in the now and being grateful. It's so important. Like when I feel grateful, I feel better. So my aim is to just think of something every day that I am grateful for. Practice gratitude in my everyday life. Sherlock Holmes says, I love your voice. Very soothing. Has a calming to it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really do. See, that's why I feel like it's okay for me to be a faceless channel. Like, y'all don't need to see what I look like. Just listen to me talk. I'm a human. I'm a woman, okay? And I feel like, honestly, society is so over-absorbed with the looks and this and who's wearing that and fashion and who's tall, who's short, who's fat, who's skinny. And I'm not into that. I'm just different. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. I've been different. I've been weird for a long time. Weird, not in a bad way, but just my kind of weird. I love my kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? I think we're all a little bit weird, though. There's nothing wrong with it. Atheist says sometimes I am isolated because of not following Christianity. Yeah, I can relate to you, atheist. Honestly, Christians have a way of making you feel bad for not being like them. It's rare to find a Christian who accepts you even if you don't believe. And I do find some Christians who be like, you know what, I know you don't believe, or I know you don't pray, but maybe you could think positive. I respect those kind of Christians who are just being loving people and not trying to force, like, you need to read a Bible, you're gonna go to hell. Those kind of people I can't get with. Like, if you're all like forcing it down my throat, I can't hear you like that. So sure, atheists, try your best not to let them get to you. Try to reach out to maybe like an atheist support group. Facebook has so many groups that you can join for support. Even meetup.com. Check out meetup.com and reach out to others. There's people who can relate to you. Don't feel isolated. I love the birds. Birds are awesome. I would be a bird if I could be an animal. Sherlock Holmes says embracing uniqueness and different is such a vibe. It is. It is. Like, I'm attracted to that. Like, I'm attracted to different people, cool, unique, like people who are always trying to be like everybody else and mainstream and everybody what's hot, what's popping. Like, I don't like what everybody else likes, you know? I've always been like that. Like, when everybody's on one thing, I'm like, I don't even want it no more. I don't even like that no more. Atheist says, I'd like to have a great teacher in my life. Well, you said you're in school, right? Do you have good teachers? It's very important to have a good teacher. I've had some teachers that I wasn't feeling. Like, I've had a teacher he started out as a great teacher, but he did some things that made him not a great teacher. Like, I to this day I think about him. It's really weird, but like, I looked up to him. Like, he was like my Malcolm X, and he behaved in ways and said some things that made me look at him differently. And if I could see him to this day, I would tell him like, yo, like, you got to remember that the things you say and things you do could last a life. Anyway, I hope he's well. And it's crazy. Like I said, it's because he was my favorite teacher, but then he was also not my favorite teacher. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it was a bittersweet love, not really hate, or love dislike, or like dislike teacher, because I learned things from him. You know, he taught us about Africa. Like, he was the first teacher and first person I met that showed us pictures of what Africa really looks like. He was like, you know, they want you to believe that Africa, they're all poor and sitting in huts. And he was showing me he was showing us all the skyscrapers. Like, he looked like Malcolm X. He was an awesome teacher, but he had his ways about him that he definitely could have did better. And I'm gonna try my best to just remember the good parts of it. But it was some traumatic stuff that he did, okay? And some people don't realize the impact they have on people. Let me see. Sherlock Holmes says, I share your sentiments. Exactly with that. I've been called different all my life. Didn't embrace it until I graduated high school. Let me tell you about high school. If I could go, I wouldn't go back. High school really, I embraced it in high school because I was forced to. I'm gonna do a quick story time for y'all, right? When I was in high school, I came in it with it no having like a set of friends. It was like, you know, and then like everybody started to, like, one girl went with the popular girls, one girl went with whoever, another girl, she honestly, I don't know what happened, she had some type of mental issue, and so she basically, I don't know what happened to her. I think she may have had bipolar disorder, so she started acting different. So then it was just me left, and I didn't fit in with the jocks. I didn't fit in with the popular girls and whoever. So I end up like being to myself a lot, and I had to. High school is where I learned to rely on myself, and that you have to be okay with being alone. And I don't know how to be fake. I don't know how to, hey, so and so, hey, and just be in your clique just to say I have friends. I couldn't do that. I don't know how to force myself into situations that's not for me. So that high school experience taught me, you know, about who I really am at the core. And I love that about me. Like, I don't need to follow behind everybody. I don't need to do what everybody else is doing. I can sit at a table alone, and even if it's tough, I got through it. And like that's why I love like my alone time, because my alone time taught me so much about myself. Some people can't stand being alone. Some people have to be with someone. Someone have to be in a room with a whole bunch of people. I don't need that. I'm okay with being alone. Yes, being around people is cool, but I love my alone time. I love that. I love myself. I love that I don't need to be around so many people to feel okay, you know? So yeah, high school was like it was a tough time when I lost who I thought were my friends. And it was just me there, like, on my own. And I made it. And I'm here. I'm a survivor. You already know that. That's what my channel's all about. But the girl that I think had bipolar disorder, I hope she's okay. To this day, I wonder about her. But she was regular, and then one day she just started acting so different. And I was like, what happened? And she was the last person to leave our group. And it was really sad. It's really sad. I hope she's okay. I really hope she is all right. But it taught me that people will switch up on you. People will change. There's nothing you could do about it. Sherlock Holmes says, atheist, how old are you? Okay. Atheist says, my school life, college life, and university life were horrible when I left. Lone warrior and missed myself. Aww. Atheist says, I am 21. Sherlock Holmes says, yes, story time. Sherlock Holmes says, I think if I could go back to high school years with everything I've learned today, I've had a better time and wouldn't be in my head as much. Yeah, I agree with that. If I could go back, I definitely wouldn't have had to worry about what everybody think, and I would have found a different set of friends instead of like deciding to be by myself, because everybody else would like, I just couldn't vibe with those other people. Anyways, we can't go back in time, but if I could, there are things I would do differently. I would tell my younger self that you're going to be okay. This too shall pass. If I could go back to my high school self, I would tell myself it's going to be okay. Atheist says, ma'am, have you seen the Shawshank Redemption? Of course. I'm surprised you know about that, because you're the one that's 21. You're young. Yes, the Shawshank Redemption is one of my favorite movies of all time. I haven't seen it in a while. And you know what? I should watch it soon again. Let me see where is it streaming at? I'm about to get off live, you all. It's very dark. I didn't mean to say this long. But let me see. Last thing before I leave. The Shaw. Yeah, I used to have the DVD, Atheist. I gave it away or whatever happened to do it. But that's my movie right there. Love that movie. It's such a good movie. Yeah. So if anybody doesn't know, the Shawshank Redemption came out in 1994, and it's about somebody named Andy, and he's sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms in prison for the murders of his wife and her lover, and is sentenced to a tough prison. However, only Andy knows he didn't commit the crimes. While there, he forms a friendship with Red, experiences brutality of prison life, adapts, helps the warden, etc., all in 19 years. That movie is really good, and it was really sad that he was falsely, accused and had to go to prison. But it's real life. There are people who are innocent. People like to believe that everybody in prison is guilty, but there are innocent people in prison. And that's why another favorite movie of mine is The Life of David Gale. If you haven't seen that movie, check it out. That movie is about, some people don't like it. I think Rotten Tomatoes give it a low rating, but it's basically about a man who, not a man, but basically just showing that the death penalty can be wrong. Like, it's basically, it's more against the death penalty, saying that it's easy to falsely accuse someone of a murder. And it's true, the movie did prove that point. But for people who are for the death penalty, they probably wouldn't like the movie, because it's like, oh, you're just pushing your agenda. There are cracks in the system. Let me see. Sherlock Holmes says, I took things too serious. In hindsight, enjoying life to the fullest is very important to me. It's very important. Atheist said, Netflix. It's not on Netflix. Sherlock Holmes. Well, I looked, I didn't see it. Sherlock Holmes says, great talking with you, Queen. You're always a great vibe. Thank you so much, Sherlock. I hope you have a good evening. Atheist says, have you seen Gladiator? I haven't. I'm not really into like those kind of movies, but I'm open to it. Let me see. I don't know where I could watch it. Gladiator 1. If I could find somewhere to watch it, I would watch it. I don't know where it's on right now. Sherlock Holmes Gladiator was a classic. I want to see the sequel. Yeah, is it 2 or 3 that's out right now? I didn't realize it until streaming. Okay, let me see if I could watch it. It says you can stream Gladiator on Paramount Plus with a subscription. So I don't have Paramount. I used to have it. I don't have it anymore. So yeah, it's not on Netflix, Hulu, or Max, or Disney Plus, or Tubi. So I can't watch it right now. So when did the sequel? Is it out in theaters now? Or you have it's been out and you just haven't seen it? Oh, it's coming out on the 22nd. You know, this is news to me. So you know what? It makes me want to watch the first one so I can see the second one. Oh, Atheist says, hold on. Let me see. Atheist says sequel might not be good. Yes, I think sequels are never good as the first. You guys name a movie that the sequel is better than the first one. I'll wait. Atheist says, ma'am, Gladiator is a must watch. I definitely want to watch it. Sherlock Holmes says DVD. I'm going to check the library and see. I have a DVD player, but I haven't set it up yet. I don't even know how to set it up. And that's a shame. You know, we grew up on DVDs, but now as we're older, everything is streaming and digital. Atheist says, don't read, please. Just watch movie. Okay. Sherlock Holmes says, that's why DVDs are the best. You can watch things anytime you want. I recently got rid of all my DVDs, Sherlock Holmes. A shame. I was just like, girl, you're holding on to this too much. When is the last time you watched any of this stuff? So I low-key regret it, but that stuff is still sold. If I really want to buy it again, I could buy it. Sherlock Holmes says Denzel Washington is in the sequel. He is. Denzel is like, he's still doing his thing, making that money. And he's like, what, 70 what now? Hey, Siri, how old is Denzel Washington? 69. I don't know why I thought he was in his 70s. Go ahead, Denzel. Make that money as long as you can. He's such a great actor. Now I want to see it, Sherlock Holmes. Now that you told me Denzel is in there, I might have to watch it. But like I said, I need to watch the first one. Atheist says Gladiator is on Amazon Prime. Okay. Sherlock Holmes says Back to the Future sequel was fire. Okay. So, okay. I know I saw Back to the Future 1. I don't know how much I've seen of them, but I've seen it. I want to refresh my memory on Back to the Future. I honestly wanted to show it to my son because he loves talking about time travel. So I think that would be a cool movie to show him. But he's kind of young, so I got to make sure it's age appropriate. Atheist says Gladiator 2 will be released on November 15th. According to what I looked at, it says November 22nd. Are you sure about that? And why? I don't know. According to Google, it says 22nd. Sherlock Holmes says that's trailer with Denzel Washington lit. Okay, I'm going to watch it tonight. Thank you, Sherlock. You guys are putting me on to stuff. Okay, let me look at my poll before I get out of here. Let me see. It says, so I asked, would you give your younger self any advice? And 93% of you said yes, and 7% said no. That's awesome that you guys will give yourself advice. I'm gonna end the poll. Sherlock Holmes says that trailer. You already said that. I already saw that. Sherlock Holmes says Back to the Future is top 10 all-time favorite time travel movie. Yes. Do you know any more time travel movies? Because my son loves time travel stuff. Atheist says, are you a vegan? I am. How did you know that? I didn't even say anything about being a vegan. That's very funny that you asked me that. What made you ask that? Because I am. That's funny. That is so funny. Let me see. What's this on my screen? Okay. Sherlock Holmes says The Time Traveler's Wife is another good one. I heard about that. Is that what Denzel? The Time Traveler's Wife. I heard about it, but I never watched it. Okay, well, it's on Max, and it came out in 2009. Thank you, Sherlock Holmes. I definitely will. You guys are giving me so many movies to watch. So it's on Max, YouTube, Hulu, Sling TV, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, Google Play, blah, blah, blah. So I have Max and Hulu, so I'm good. I'm good. What is it about, though? Let me look it up real quick. Okay, so The Time Traveler's Wife is about a Chicago librarian, Henry de Temple, suffers from a rare genetic disorder that causes him to drift uncontrollably back and forth through time. On one of his sojourns, he meets the love of his life, Claire, and they marry. But the problems and complexities of any relationship are multiplied by Henry's inability to remain in one time and place, so that he and his beloved are continually out of sync. Wow, that sounds very interesting. Thank you. That sounds really good. And Rotten Tomatoes approved. And you know, actually, I'm wrong. Rotten Tomatoes did not like that movie. It gave it only 38%. Let me see what she said. Sherlock Holmes says no. Although Denzel did a time travel film, the one he did was Deja Vu, right? Wasn't that the one that Denzel did? Atheist says I'm vegan too. That's awesome. So we already have two things in common. All right, Time Traveler's Wife is a beautiful, oops, I made a mistake, love story. Okay. Atheist says because I'm an animal lover. Same. Sherlock Holmes says the book is great and it's very rare. Film is just as good as wait, let me start over. I'm reading too fast. The book is great and it's very rare that the film is just as good, if not better. Okay. Atheist says, have you seen Inception? Yes, I have, Atheist, and I want to watch it again because I feel like it was so many things going on that I need to go back and look at it. But yes, that's a good movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. Jorka says Warrior something Leakers. I don't know what that is. Is that a movie? Sherlock Holmes says Rotten Tomatoes is never on point. Yes, it's Deja Vu. Yeah, that movie was, I'm gonna be real with you, kind of confusing. I want to watch it again because the first time, sometimes watching a movie one time is not enough. You got to watch it again because you've missed so many things. Atheist says, "Man, will you be my teacher for hereafter?" What do you mean your teacher? I'm not a teacher. Go to school, okay? Stay in school, please. You can listen to me. You can be on my lives and I'll talk. I have some good advice sometimes. But it's really important to read books. Read a book. Read a book. Not a sports page. Hold on one second. Sherlock Holmes says, yeah. Yeah, there's movies that I love a lot, and Rotten Tomatoes was not feeling it. So I do agree that Rotten Tomatoes can be wrong about things. They're very critical. But when I see that they love something, it makes me want to watch it. But I'm not always on their side when I see negative because they can be wrong. Atheist says Inception BGM is a song. I don't know what that says, but Inception is a good movie. Sherlock Holmes, The Perfect Getaway is another great film that has replay value and at a time travel film, though. It's a suspense thriller. I'm saving this live, y'all. I'm going to be looking at all my comments back. Thank you, Sherlock Holmes and Atheist, for giving me really good movies. Jorka, I'm not sure if that's a movie or what, but you said Warrior or something, Leakers. Never heard of that, but I'm saving this live because I'm already watching a movie that somebody else recommended in a live yesterday. Give me a second. I'm going to tell y'all what it is. I'm going to tell you the movie I'm watching now. I can't think of it. It's like a weird, long movie. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna tell you the movie I'm watching now that I've never seen before. It's like an old movie. So the movie I'm watching now is called Marlon Brando's. No, that's not it. Give me it. The movie is called what? Hold on. There's a movie that saying Stella is from, and I cannot think of the movie, but I'm watching it now. No, that's not what I'm watching. I'm gonna watch that. There's another movie that someone recommended in the live stream that I'm watching now. I'll get back with you guys next live about what it is. Okay, so the movie that I'm talking about is called A Streetcar Named Desire. That's on my list to watch. You guys recommended. It is on Tubi. But there's another movie you guys recommended that I am watching, and the name of it is not in my head right now. Okay, the movie is called Remember Me. So I'm currently watching a movie called Remember Me, and it is on Tubi, I believe. But just look up the movie Remember Me, and it seems good so far. I believe it is on Tubi. Atheist says, I mean, as a life teacher and guiding factor. Sure, I mean, you could come to my lives, and yes, I'll say what I can. Sherlock Holmes says, I'm a movie buff. I like all kinds of films. Do you like to go to the movie theater, or you like to watch it at home? Sherlock Holmes says, I want to see the Coming to America sequel. That has been out though, right? I haven't seen that yet. I'm leery of certain sequels because it's like, I don't know if y'all gonna really, the original to me is always better. So when I love a movie and it's like a classic to me, it's like, I don't know about this. I'm very skeptical. I was actually excited about The Color Purple, the musical version of it that came out. I was skeptical. I saw it. It was decent. It was good, but it was not the original Color Purple. The original Color Purple will always win. Sherlock Holmes, I enjoy watching at theater still. Yeah, it's nice to go into the theater. So y'all, it's super, super dark. I'm gonna get off. Thank you everyone who came into the live stream. If you came into the beginning, the middle, the end, I appreciate your support. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Sherlock Holmes says facts. I always enjoyed the original better, but it's a pleasant surprise when that isn't the case. Yep, I agree. I'm going to do a live one day and talk about all my favorite movies, and we all just talk about movies and why we like it so much, why it means so much to us. I'm going to have my next live about that. Our favorite movies and why we love it so much. Like, the good movies. Not just like... I'm not talking about movies like... what's that one movie that's about driving cars? They have like a million versions of it. Rush Hour? No, not Rush Hour. Whatever. Don't mind me. I like more movies about drama. But I like all movies. Sherlock Holmes says, have a good one, love. Thank you. Atheist says, okay, ma'am. See you soon. Feeling sleepy. Love you, ma'am. And we'll be in your next live. Thank you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Sherlock Holmes says, I hope you haven't parked far. It is dark. I'm at home. So I'm just going to walk in right now. I'm on my patio. But I'm getting off. Thank y'all. I appreciate all of your support. I'll see you next live. I'll try to go live tomorrow around early afternoon so it won't be dark, okay? Thank you all. You are the bomb, okay? And try to be grateful. November is National Gratitude Month, so try your best to practice gratitude. That will bring so much joy to your life, okay? Have a good one.